Welcome back to our coverage of ASUG Annual Conference in Sapphire Now. I'm Courtney Bjorlin. I'm one of the editors on asugnews.com. Throughout the last 2 days, we've had many great customer stories about their mobility projects, and we're really privileged to have the top mind in SAP mobility here in our studio right now. Nick Brown, he's the Senior Vice President of Mobility and Strategy for SAP. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Courtney.
So Nick, tell us, what is going to be the big thing in corporate mobile strategy this year?
I think that corporations are really starting to move forward with their strategy. They're going to the next level of not only reaching their employees, but now really thinking about how do they reach their end customers and deliver solutions that bring their value, their information, and their products closer to their customers moving forward in the coming year.
So what are you seeing on a customer level? Are they moving out of the planning stages into the buying stages? Where are they on the mobility roadmap?
Yeah, I think that mobility has been kind of in the cowboy phase, I would say, where there's a lot of entrepreneurs in the business, lots of applications coming at them from inside the company, from outside the company through professional firms, and now they're really starting to hone in on concerns about security and infrastructure to really support an ever-growing demand to mobilize all aspects of their business. So we're really seeing that strategy start to be designed and defined, and true mobile leaders coming into these companies that are now taking those plans forward and enabling the business to really reach out and provide the information anywhere, anytime on any device.
So any device, have we really given up on a corporate mobile standard? Are most companies just allowing BYOD policies?
I think that is the desire of most companies. BYOD policies are complex to enable, but some of the announcements we've made today I think are really going to help our customers move forward with their BYOD strategies. Fiori, SAP Fiori is one example where we can do that. Our announcement with Mocana for doing secure container, which allows you to deploy corporate applications into a secure container on the device that then you can control and take care of without touching the personal information for the employee. These are big moves forward that enable BYOD, and that'll open up an explosive opportunity for our customers to have more functionality delivered more broadly to their employees and customers.
So let's talk a little bit about Fiori. That was a really interesting announcement. So we've got 25 applications that are the most widely used transactions within a company. How did this come about? Was this Sam Yen's team? Can you talk a little bit more about this?
Yeah, sure. We partnered with Sam Yen's team, with Suite, and with the mobile team to look at the history of what we've been doing over the last 2 years with mobile productivity applications, with the experience that our users have with SAP, and how can we renew and improve what our users do. So we went out and interviewed the users of over 250 of our customers and tried to understand what do they use most frequently, what has the most movement in their organization. We picked a few personas, employee, manager, sales representative, and procurement as kind of key targets to go mobilize, and that's how we determined the use cases, the 25 apps that we would put inside Fiori, and then allow our customers to deploy that app however they wanted to. It could be a single app for a user, or it could be 25 for your CEO who can do all of those functions in the corporation. Make it easy to use, easy to deploy, and so it was really a culmination of those 3 teams at SAP coming together, focused around our customer. So we had 10 great beta customers who came in and worked with us, and every step of the way their users were involved in reviewing and approving and helping us drive the evolution of the user experience forward. And that's how we came up and delivered SAP Fiori at the event.
What are some of the characteristics of the user experience? What we saw up there today during Vishal Sikka and Hassel Plattner's keynote was really interesting. Drill down into a little bit of that for us.
Sure. What we really like about it is we provide a consistent business experience for the user. So no matter what process you're looking at across your organization, you get a consistent look and feel and an optimized look and feel on device. So it'll run on your smartphone, it'll run on your tablet, and it'll run on your PC, laptop, or desktop, and give you kind of a consistent look. So we don't penalize you for being on any of those devices, and we also make it feel native on those devices as well through the design work that we've done. Additionally, we provide tooling for our customers to be able to brand it so it has their corporate look and feel, to configure it so they can change the business processes that are in there and add additional data to what they need, and they'll be able to extend it. So we're working with customers today to look at extending new apps into Fiori, like, oh, I want to do zoo passes for my employees, or the lunch menu, right? Or maybe even
So
things like that for the customers to use.
is this the SAP Personas project? or is this a different project, Fiore?
It's a different project, but it leverages the same thinking around personas, right? What is it that you want to do when you're mobile on the go? What do you need to have access to? And how can I give you just enough information so, 5 nines, if you will, of the time, you can approve or move that business process forward?
This is a really quick turnaround for something. I mean, for us, we just heard about this at TechEd last year when Sam got up and talked about it. What's it like to bring that all together and develop it in such a quick time?
A lot of sleepless nights is the way I would describe it. We had some great teamwork. Everybody was really pulling forward, and customers also committed a lot of time and energy into helping us get this right. And so that's what it was. But I think when you have a focus and you have a fulcrum point, like we have to launch at a great event like this, that really drives the teams to excellence, and that's what we got. So I was very excited to work with them all.
That's great. Sleepless nights. We get many of those here too, huh?
Well, and I'm from Seattle, so I know all about that. Yeah.
So what about going forward? What can we expect to see? We're always wanting to hear what's next at these shows, right? What other verticals are you focusing on? What's next for the mobile point solutions for customers?
I really think that we're starting to see a big demand for how can our customers reach out to their end consumers. So our businesses want to interact directly with their consumers. And we had the STM here, Pierre, the CMO from the subway system and the transportation system there. And they're doing a very unique thing of reaching out to their consumers who want to ride on their trains and buses into the city and out of the city. And then they've opened up an ecosystem of retailers, restaurants, the opera, theater, so that they can make offers to these riders and get more people riding the metro and coming in, and then having an optimized experience and offer that gives them discounts and gets them excited. So we have had a huge, tremendous ramp up with them, and we see that as one of the biggest goals for our customer base in retail, in consumer product goods, is to really connect with those customers, stay connected to those customers, and give them value. So that is, I think, going to be one of the biggest trends going into this year.
It's so interesting that you brought up that example, because this innovation seems to be coming from places that you would never expect it. The subway system,
exactly.
So I mean, we're going to see more of that
I think so. I mean, if
year.
you think of what they've done, they've taken that unique situation where the number one goal they had was, how can I get an app in the rider's hands that they want, right, that adds value? So you always have to find a way, whether it's your employees, your business partners, or the end consumers, whether they're citizens or riders on your transportation system, how can I build an application that they desire to have on their device and that they'll use on a regular basis? And then the nice thing about the subway system example is that they can also reach out to people who, Nick's subway shop, right? I'm not going to have a big mobile app, but now I can participate by signing up for their program and making advertisement into those riders and getting them to come in and get a free sandwich or what have you through that process.
Very cool, very cool. So here in the US, we tend to be iOS centric, right? But in Europe and in Asia, it's a much more big market for Android. What can we expect on the Android platform this year? Is much commitment?
Yeah, I think what you'll see is a lot more commitment around Android and Windows 8 as well coming up in the marketplace. And Fiore is another great example of the techniques and the ways that we can make that happen. Especially for employee-facing applications, we can build a beautiful experience, and it actually runs on BlackBerry 10, iOS, Android, and Windows 8. So we've kind of solved the problem of deploying broadly solutions onto these devices. I think what now you'll see is beyond kind of HTML5 or these techniques to go cross-platform, there's still going to be a desire to go native and provide a super rich, high-fidelity user experience like we do with our application, for example, EMR, so electronic medical records. That's an application that runs on Android, iOS, and Windows, and each is a native experience because you're giving this to doctors and other healthcare workers, nurses, et cetera, and they're a very picky, I think, demanding group of people that you need to give a super optimized experience for. Other groups that I think are that way are sales representatives. They want highly productive, rich, easy to use applications, and a lot of times native is going to be what we need to provide. So you'll see SAP focusing around delivering capabilities that make it easier and easier for our customers to take the same application and deploy it natively on multiple devices.
So let's, to close out, talk a little bit about, I'm a customer deciding between, all money aside, SAP mobile platform or buying a bunch of point solutions to meet my needs? Does it really have to go down to your audience like you were just saying?
I think what I recommend to customers is you need to make the right decision for the audience you're going after and your immediate business need. Our goal at SAP is to say, we have the platform that has all those point solutions built on top of it, securely deployed, using things like Mokana for wrapping it, using SAP documents for secure content delivery and storage, and take the question out of your hands. But I also think that there's lots of innovation going on, so it's going to happen. And here you can at least set a strategy for how you can bring all of those apps into the fold, secure them, and get them onto a platform that helps you sleep at night. Because when you talk to the CIO out there, they know that, hey, all of a sudden there's a new application. And guess who brought it into the corporation? It was the CEO, right? So what does he do? He can't kind of, slap his hand. He's got to now bring that in and put that in as part of his strategy. And I think that's where the SAP mobile platform can help make that happen, along with SAP Secure and all the things we're doing around making it a secure, reliable, highly scalable platform for our customers.
It's a great point. So much of the IT department and our members are working backwards, because everybody's bringing these in and then they're now trying to accommodate them. So that's a good.
I think a lot of things that happen is there's so much noise and confusion, right? There's big data, there's analytics, there's cloud, there's on-premise, and you really got to kind of step back and focus in on the user once again, right? And make sure that you have a strategy that allows you to address your users' needs today and evolve into the future. So it's probably okay if you have a few rogue projects out there, on the Great Plains by the Cowboys happening, and really come back in and say, I can bring that back in. I'll put some structure and some rules in place for those, but I know I have a future strategy with SAP that can take me into the next decade.
Well, thank you so much for your time. That was a really interesting discussion. Next up, we'll have more coverage of customer mobility projects, so please stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.